Welcome to the Join Us in France Travel Podcast trailer. Bonjour, I'm Annie Sargent, and I'm here to tell you why you should listen to my podcast. You see, along with the podcast, I also run a Facebook group with several thousand members, and in that group, we answer questions. And over the 5 years I've been doing this, I've noticed that there is an enormous difference between the people who listen to the podcast and those who don't. The ones who don't lack so much basic information about how France ticks that they ask the wrong questions, and often they pay for stuff they don't need, like skip the line tickets. Those are what I call, let me take an extra $50 from you because you don't know that there are cheaper options. And I would be lying if I didn't admit that, well, answering the same questions over and over again gets old, especially since we cover all these things on the podcast. Actually, for as popular as podcasts are these days, there are still people who just don't realize that they can plan their trip to France with a podcast. Maybe we should let them know? How much stress could they take out of their trip planning if they listen to what other visitors have to say? Because on the podcast, we have trip reports. Regular people, families, young couples, mature people, all walks of life, all types of personalities from many places in the world. These are not travel professionals. They have nothing to sell. They are people who came to visit France and want to give back to the Join Us in France community by sharing how things went on their trip. You'll be amazed how much you can learn from them. And what about inspiration on where to go? Not sure about how to plan your itinerary? Is that long list of yours too long? That comes up all the time on the podcast. And FYI, podcast listeners know already that they cannot visit Versailles and the Mont Saint-Michel in the same day. Yes, that's a real question that came up recently. And of course, with a podcast, you can listen anywhere, anytime. You don't have to sit in front of your computer and read TripAdvisor for days on end. You can listen while driving or folding laundry or walking your dogs or whatever it is that you do in a day that's a good time for listening to something. So, how do you listen to podcasts? It's really easy. Open a web browser on your phone or your computer for that matter, and search for Join Us in France. You'll see podcast episodes, which are like chapters in a book. Choose one, click play, turn up the sound, and you're good to go. There are other ways, but let's keep it simple. You won't have to create an account. You won't have to share your name or even your email address. No credit card number needed. No strings attached. So give it a try. I guarantee that listening to this podcast will completely change the way you experience France next time because you'll be better informed and you'll make the right choices for you. And if you are a regular listener already, please share this trailer with people who are going to visit France. You'll be doing them a great favor and you'll save them money too. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you on the podcast. Au revoir.